I said, blah, 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 this particular guy I'm sponsoring. And he said, I want you to drop him. And I said, Mike, I'm being serious. And he said, I'm being serious. I want you to drop him. I would rather have you on the golf course than working with him be better for your program. Well, he's never heard me play golf. And clearly. And I said, come on, be serious. He says, I'm being serious. Let me ask you some questions. I said, okay. He said, what are you asking him to do that he's not doing? I said, well, let's see. Call me every day, go to a meeting every day, start his 4-step, call his parole officer, look for a job, and follow the directions on pages 86 and 87 how to open and close your day. He said, well, how much of that's he doing? I said, well, he's not doing any of it. He said, you are not his sponsor, he is. You are his fire chief. And when his tail feathers are ablaze, he calls you and siphons off some of your serenity and puts out his fire and goes right back to doing it his way, and you are not helping him. You are not helping him. You're co-signing a lie, and the lie is that he has a sponsor and he doesn't. And the lie is that he's in the program of recovery and he's not. And he says, I want you to drop him. I said, man, and these are hard things. And he said, how do you feel when you work with him? And I said, I feel like they pulled the corks out of my heels and the blood ran out. And I feel like I've been wrung out. And he said, how do you feel when you work with Bill Kay? I said, oh, he lights me up like a pinball machine. He said, really? What are you asking Bill to do that he's not doing? I said, oh, he's doing it all. And he said, mm-hmm. Imagine that. And I began to get the idea that sponsorship is a two-way street. And then he asked me a great question. He said, could you stay sober on the program this guy's working? And I said, no. He said, can he? I said, I don't think so. He said, you are probably right. And when he drinks again, he may kill somebody or himself or do major damage or go to prison for a long time. And I want you to be able to sleep because you have done the right thing. Because you've told him the truth. Because right now what we're really doing is we're wagering on your ability as a psychologist. And it's a bad choice. That's a bad bet. And I've since added something to that, and that is that the next time he wakes up in a jail cell in a pool of his own blood and vomit, I want him to have 3 options. And the options are to continue to live that way, to commit suicide, or try the program of Alcoholics Anonymous knowing he hadn't tried it because I told him the truth. Because if I don't tell him the truth, look what I've left for him. So I'm making it easy for him to come back when I drop him. And before you come disagree with me, I'd ask you to read the middle paragraph on page 95 and the first one on page 96. Where the text tells me to do that. And it's a hard thing, and I went with heavy heart. And I was hoping he'd say, no, give me one more chance. And he didn't. And he said, yeah, okay. And the next time I saw him after that was a few days later, and he bounced off of both door jambs coming into the clubhouse, and the officers came in and arrested him out of the clubhouse. We shared a parking lot with a grocery store. He left his vehicle parked up against somebody else's. And that was the last time I saw him. And I hope he comes back. But he doesn't think I'm his sponsor. And he doesn't think he's in the program because I told him the truth. And it broke my heart. And I had experience just a few years ago. I was trying to work